Hi, and welcome again to another edition of today's market analysis at the close. In about 10 minutes, the market will be closing. So I wanted to take the opportunity and talk about a scenario that we had this morning when the market opened, or before the market opened actually. We were going to be opening with a gap down, if you recall that, on all of the indices, but specifically in the Nasdaq. The gap was very prominent. We had the close yesterday at 11,970, and today we opened way below that at 11,749. All right, so that's where we opened today. So it was a pretty wide gap. So that, for those of you that have traded gas before, and for those of you who don't know what a gap is, okay, let me just give you a quick explanation. Basically, gap is one that has price opening completely outside of the prior day's range. Basically, not just like we did today, which will be either above the high or below the low. And the hole or the void created in the price history is a price range at which no bid offer was created. There were no trades. A price gap might or might not have significance. We have seen them before in analyzing breakouts from classic patterns, trend lines, and support or resistance zones. And in those instances, the gaps were demonstrating the beginning of a new trend. However, gap types differ based on the context in which they occur. Some are meaningful and others can be disregarded. So what can we take from the gap down today? What could it have caused that? Well, even though the rumor or the whole buzz in the market was that Microsoft guidance was not very upbeat. All right, even though Microsoft beat expectations on revenue today, when they reported before the bell. So when they came out and on the call, the CEO came out talking about the guidance by March is not going to be gloomy. So that tells that there's going to be a deceleration obviously in the economy, which is one of the things that obviously the Federal Reserve is looking to have a higher unemployment rate. So we spoke about that 6% being taken out in the job force in Google. So all of that scenario created this gap down. Now, what we also can take from this is that we've heard the saying buy the dip. Okay, so when will you buy the dip? Okay, having this gap down, right, and having all of this the information, we saw that this movement from 11,750 where we opened today all the way down to the low of today. The low is 11,600, 603.50, but rounding it up 11,600, that created a support. It was shy 100 points from my support that I was giving you this morning. But anyhow, we came and found that as the market dropped dramatically and into the open, it found footing. That's a dip, right? So it's just like a bash on the road. You come down. Oh, okay. So now it's back stable on our track. So the trend continues to be upward. Okay, and this one way for us to use the buy the dip scenario will be, so we have a gap down. All right, so we'll figure it out. We'll see when we find bottom. We found bottom at 11,600. That's a key indicator for you to say, okay, that is a psychological support area. So will we find it? Yes, we did. When can we come and say, okay, we are confirming this upward momentum? Well, for that case, let's go down to 30 minutes and see what the price fluctuation was. Okay, so here, right around here, this is where we open, right? This is the open right here. Market open, lower, right? It pushed lower, right? And then we could come and say that given the technical analysis that this particular candle right here, okay, this is 30 minutes, looks very much like a hammer. Yes, that we want that tail to be longer, but hey, it looks like a hammer. So there you go. That's your confirmation. Okay. So that's my dip. Okay. So the next candle, the next 30 minutes actually, took out the previous low. So if we were using a tie stop, we would have been stopped out, perhaps. Okay, so that's why you want to also, be able to use good levels for your stops, not being too conservative and not being too aggressive, right? So we found that dip, the bottom at 11,600, and from here the market has been rallying higher. Okay, has been rallying higher. Where will we close now? Into the close is a strong pullback, profit taken. This right here, price action, is called profit taken. All right, market is closing, it's moving lower, and that will be the case. Okay.
Hello, Jay.
Let's see if it'll push lower all the way down towards our support, our now support, because this was previously a resistance, now it's a support. Okay, so let me just move that line and bring the support to that level, 11,800. 11,800. Boom. Okay. That's it. Let's see where will we close today? At 11,855. Back up to 11,900. Just a few minutes, 5 more minutes into the close, and that'll be all. So we'll see. That's it for me for right now. I'll see you tomorrow at the close.